I'm sorry, I think I hear Morgan walking through the door now. Hmm? Hey guys, welcome to Dead Walking Sunday, where we do spoiler reviews on The Walking Dead. And we are reviewing The Walking Dead, Season 5, Episode 3, Four Walls and a Roof. Now, why they gotta take Bob? Not Bob, damn it. Not Bob. Bob! Like last episode, I knew he was going to be bitten. They are following the Hunter's storyline from the comics was definitely played, beat for beat in this season. Just different characters. Instead of Bob, it was Dale. And I think Dale's death in the comics was more of an impact because we followed Dale from the beginning. And then we get to this point, and then, with him and Andrew and the kids. But that was a comic book. This is the TV show. And it still kind of hit me because, you know what? The guy who plays Bob, he's a good actor. And Bob was actually growing on me towards the end of last season. He was probably the one little bright spot out of that season as well. So Bob leaving, he was bitten. His leg got chewed up. That was pork, by the way, that Gareth was eating. If you guys want a fun fact from The Talking Dead, that was pork. That's why I thought it looked kind of good. But I was enjoying enchiladas. So back to this really recap. So basically, what we had in this episode was we found out what's bugging the priest. What's his hidden secret? And that's he didn't let anybody in the church when Atlanta got seized by the zombies. He pretty much left the doors locked and he fended for himself. So that's his biggest sin. We also learned, the group learned where Daryl and Carol are. They just took off. And we learned that Gareth is an asshole. He's an asshole. And for some reason, he brought Bob back. He left maybe for a warning and stuff. And we learned that you just don't fuck. That's right. Fuck with Rick's group. Because they'll come after you. Overall, I think the most... I'm assuming you guys seen the episode. That's why we talk about this. This is why it's spoiler review. So let me just get into basically the one little nitpick I have of this episode. And that was Bob in the beginning. Bob, give me a better laugh than that, bro. You're... And Garrett's like, oh, this guy's going crazy. I was like, Bob, you're going crazy with non-acting, man. You gotta give me something. You gotta give me more. You gotta give me more. That I don't believe it. I don't believe your despair. I don't believe this man ate your leg. So come on, Bob. You could do a better job crying. Just you gotta go within yourself, within yourself. But that was my little nitpick, was the crying of Bob. I was like, oh God, Bob can't cry. At least he doesn't have an ugly cry. So. Well, he kind of did, actually. So, that was a little nitpick, but overall, this episode was great. The season started to look pretty damn good because they found their balance. In the last two seasons, it was either we get slow episodes or one or two fast-paced kind of things going on episodes. So far, they found the balance to have those slow moments, have those character interactions, but then pick it up with something to do. Like in this episode, we had some interactions between Michonne and the priest towards the end. We also had interactions between Tyrese and Sasha when Sasha was caring for Bob. When Garrett pretty much gave back the group Bob, and as a warning, so to speak. And then Sasha was in the priest's office because, there's a couch in there. Thanks a lot, asshole. He didn't tell us that there was a couch in there. So basically, she was comforting him, final days, and Tyrese, Tyrese at this point is a Care Bear, man. He's just, Tyrese, his character is so, I don't want to say ruined, but it's such a letdown to see this character Tyrese become such a softie. He's not like that in the comics, but again, I do digress that, hey, the comics are the comics and the show is the show. But it would have been nice for Tyrese to be not that much of a softie, so I'm a little disappointed in Tyrese until the very end, where he actually did the deed. But also, we learned that Tyrese did not kill the man in the hat. I mean, there was speculation, and you could see him clearly when Bob was barely opening his eyes last episode that Tyrese did not kill him, and he makes an appearance again. So, I mean, let's just get right into basically the plan where Gareth was pretty much going to storm the church and murder everybody, but Rick had a plan basically, or Tara's the one that came up with the plan that listen, let's use I'm saying it. Let's use Carl, let's use Judith and all them for bait, and then it's risky, of course. And then we're gonna come out. They're gonna see us. They're gonna see us leave the church, and they're gonna see us thinking, think that we're going after them out here in the forest, but really we're staying behind so we can, chop them up. That's exactly what happened. Gareth storms the church. He knows who's in the church. He knows there's weaklings in the church. Well, I want to say Tyrese is not that weak. He knows who's in the church, basically. And he tries to, he's about to, get him, kill him, whatever. And then Rick's group, of course, surprise behind them, shoot most of their team. And they basically, Rick pretty much goes apeshit on him. Yeah, that's right. And I knew that machete was going to come to play sooner or later, and it did. He said he owed Gareth a promise, so you just see Rick just fucking whack the shit out of Gareth, and he's done for the count after his little fingers got blown off from a shot. You see the guy with the hat just get stabbed the shit out with Sasha. You see the brutality of this episode. They're just going. You see fucking Abraham just start beating on this one guy with the gun, just the bulk of his gun. Just started just beat him. It was a violent episode. It wasn't like I wasn't too, oh my god, I can't close my eyes. But I was like, damn. When Sasha was just straight stabbing people, that one dude just got boom, boom, boom. She's if you see you watch American Horror Story, she was just like that killer clown doing that. I mean, those two are going to go head to head at one point. But yeah, the brutality of this episode, it was nice because, listen, this is not, if you're watching this show, you're not here for just the character interactions or like the love stories or, slow-paced zombies, mediocre violence. You're here for realistic kind of gore, and this is it. The blood and the way Rick was hitting him wasn't that realistic, but overall, you're just here for the grittiness, the aggressiveness of what will happen in a zombie apocalypse. And at this point, Rick's group has to do this because he knew, and he told Gareth, when Gareth was begging for his life and saying, I will never cross paths with you ever again if you let me go right now. But of course, he'd cross paths with somebody else, and that group would get it because Garrett's a cannibal, and so is his people. They lost humanity a long time ago when they chose to eat somebody. So Rick choosing to kill him in a brutal way because what they did to his friend. I don't know, brutality way, maybe it wasn't that, there's a lot of people on the fence like, man, Rick has become so dark and cold. But, Rick had to do what he had to do in this gritty, aggressive of zombie apocalypse. So, and then Sasha was pissed as well. But yeah, so that's the end of Gareth and the Hunters. It came, it was definitely more satisfying closure to that story than the Governor, because the Governor just felt like it was dragging, and when we finally got the Governor's demise, it was unsatisfactory in my opinion. So this Hunter's closure of the storyline, okay, I think it was pretty satisfactory. I think it was nice way to go out for the Hunters. And the guy who played Gareth, he was a good actor. I really enjoyed his acting with the little time we had to see him. I wish they kind of could have gave him a little bit more, just a little bit. We get to know more of Gareth. Maybe that backstory come into play a little bit, just how they took over, something like that. Just give me a little something more Gareth where I kind of just like see, why just feel for Rick when he starts killing this guy, or I just wanted just a little bit more because the guy did do a good job as Gareth, and the Hunters was a good storyline. I enjoyed that aspect of the storyline. Now we're going to go on to another one, which if you guys don't know, if you guys don't read the comics, because they're sticking with the comics at this point, except with the Daryl, Beth, and Carol thing. That's new, but with overall where they're headed to, it's not new. We all know what Eugene's up to, because he's up to something, and we all know if you read the comics, I won't spoil it, but I know there's a big baddie coming along the way, but you guys are going to love, I will say that. But I don't understand why Rick doesn't tell Abraham that they've been to Washington already, and there's nothing there. I'm waiting for Rick to mention Washington at some point, but they don't. They don't mention it, so it's just odd to me. And you know what? I really hate. What was great about this episode as well was the interaction between Rick and Abraham. Those two, you know they were gonna have to go mano a mano at one point. You know there's respect there, but you also know there's tension there because Abraham wants to get this job done while Rick is looking after his people. Because even if they find a cure, I'll probably make another video about this because this is a big topic. If Abraham even finds a cure, he cures the whole world. Does it really matter? How much population is left of Earth? How much people are there around? And even if they cure it, are you really going to go back to what things were? So that's a big question. Of course, there's a lot of both sides of the story that yes, this will actually have an impact on going back to where we were, or no, this is the world we live in. We might as well just stick with it and just try to survive as long as we can. So I did love the Abraham and Rick's interaction, their fight, but what I didn't love was the fact that Glenn and Maggie are with Abraham's group. I don't want them they just everybody just got together. Now they're separated once again because of Daryl and Carol going to find out where Beth is. I'll get to that in a moment, but let's stick with this. I don't want Maggie and Glenn with this group. I like Tara. I do. I like Tara, and I like Abraham, and I like Eugene. Rosetta hasn't given me much, but hopefully they give her a little bit more expansion of the role. She's just there for eye candy at this point. But I don't want Glenn and Maggie with that group because Glenn and Maggie, we all know that they should be sticking with Rick's side because that's the original cast right there. And I always say it, the original cast was a little bit stronger in my opinion. And just overall, you cared more about the original cast, or overall it just was kind of a little bit. There's something more there, probably because we all knew these people. If you read the comics, or if you didn't even know the comics, you knew exactly how everything. They had chemistry. I'm not saying this group doesn't have chemistry. I just do miss the original cast, except Laurie. I don't miss Laurie. But yes, Abraham and Rick, great altercation. Sasha and Bob was emotional, not too emotional because we're not that attached to the characters, but it did hit my heart a little bit. And the way Tyrese comes in the room when Bob passes. And of course there was Bob and Rick's interaction, how Bob thanks him and stuff, but I kind of was tuning out a little bit on that because we didn't really have too much interaction through the series with Bob and Rick. It was always really Bob and everybody, Sasha and Maggie. I'm surprised he didn't spend time with Maggie as much as well. So the interaction with him and Rick was so. I mean, because you didn't really see it enough in the series to have a big impact. But the interaction between Tyrese, Sasha, and Bob was great. How Tyrese finally redeemed himself and said, Sasha, leave. You don't need to do this. I'll do it for you. And Tyrese, instead of becoming a Care Bear, he became a man. So Tyrese did the deed, putting Bob out of his misery. So that was emotional. Now, real quick, what goes on? What's my thoughts on the whole Daryl and saying come out of the woods, whatever? There's two thoughts. Either Carol bit the dust and Beth is alive, or it is Morgan. One of the two. I'm just saying it. So let me hear I want to know what you guys' thoughts. I don't have too much time. I want to hear your guys' thoughts. What do you think about this episode? What do you think about moving forward? Who is Daryl referring to? Are you looking forward to Beth's now story? I'm looking forward to the next episode. I want to know what the hell these people are all about and the best situation. So just tell me, do you think the Hunter's story arc came into a nice close? Do you think Abraham going to Washington and leaving everybody else behind was a bad move? Let me know. This is why I make these videos, to hear what you guys got to say. Also, if you like this video, push the like button, and like I said, go in the comment section and let me hear your thoughts. As well as, I would really appreciate if you guys subscribe to my channel. I work hard for these movies. I always have videos up every single day, breaking news, whatever you need, all genres. And also I have that American Horror Story reviews on my site as well. Thank you guys for listening, and tune in next weekend for another Dead Walking Sunday. So, see you guys. The Walking Dead. Uncle Bob!